Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have an example of, I think, the shape of things to come. Back at the end of June, I think it was, Joe Fagin, who is a Labour councillor in South Lanarkshire, got suspended for a few days for leaking information. The information he leaked was a proposed list of closure of facilities that were sort of announced by the previous SNP regime in that particular council. If you remember, the SNP councillors all resigned en masse. That left the council a complete Labour council, and so they took over. And they saw this list of proposed cuts and closures. And Joe Fagin leaked this, or actually revealed it. He didn't leak it; he revealed it. But apparently, that is unacceptable for some reason. Telling the truth. This is the state of Scottish politics. Is you're not allowed to tell the truth. You can't reveal plans by previous councils. I can't see why not. Why are they being so shady about it? But that was the thing. Anyway, he got punished. He got a few days suspension for leaking this. And now, 3 months later, beginning of September, and another councillor in the same council, the South Lanarkshire Council, another Labour councillor, has been caught guilty of leaking again for political gain. Fagin did it for political gain, and so now has Monique McAdam. And so you've got this push in this direction of what life under Labour will be. It will be more of the same, sort of leaking for political gain, not learning lessons. Now I'm sure that there are reasons why you don't do this. And whatever the rules are, you have to obey by the rules. Whether you like the rules, if you don't like the rules, change the rules. But they are the rules, and you shouldn't do it. So to watch one of your colleagues get punished for it, and then to do the same, shows a very poor lack of judgment. But it's not, it's not in and of itself massive, but it does indicate that direction of travel. But we will take a very quick look at it just to see what's going on. Here goes. Right, so Labour are trying to set themselves up as the credible alternative to the SNP. And if you're going to do that, you have to differentiate yourself from what has gone before. And so you've got to be, getting away from that shadiness, that sneakiness, those lies, those cover-ups. And of course, now the first couple of things that happen as you're doing this and you're making progress is you're getting a whole series of councillors that are, breaking the rules, releasing information and doing it purely for political gain. Now, if this information was released and the defence was it must be for the public good, then that is an entirely different matter. Of course, whistleblowing is perfectly acceptable if it is in the public good. But this isn't necessarily in the public good. This is purely sort of political bandstanding. And I can see why they have these rules in place. Because the last thing, of course, that the Labour people want is if the SNP took over, is to have all their sort of dirty laundry, all their peccadillos revealed to all and sundry. But it's the principle of the thing about doing it. And of course, having stood on these principles, it seems very odd that they should then go and break them almost immediately. And as we look at this, there we are. There's Monique McAdams standing with the two leading giants of the Labour Party, Sir Keir Starmer, and I use the word giants completely inappropriately, of course, but Sir Keir Starmer and Anna Sawar. Now, these two, they're basically, one's her actual boss and one's her figurehead national boss, and she's representing their party, as it were. And then she has looked at what Joe Fagin, the guy on the right there, has done and said, oh, me too, even though he's being punished for it. It's not bright. It's not a good look that you've got these people doing this. And what's worse is not only the breaking of the rules, but the fact that they're failing to learn. So you're going to be replacing one set of morons with a different set of morons. Different circus, different clowns, but the show goes on. Second Labour councillor leaks secrets for political gain, reads the headline. And of course they have. Second Labour councillor, in South Lanarkshire. Why is it always bloody Lanarkshire? Anyway, has been criticised by ethics watchdogs for leaking confidential information for political gain. The Standards Commission for Scotland censured Monique McAdams for a Facebook post about potential leisure service cuts under the council's previous SNP administration. These are the same cuts that Joe Fagan had revealed. So possibly, the defence there could possibly be that it was already in the public sphere because her colleague had already previously leaked it, which kind of makes it a bit odd. But anyway, Miss McAdams admitted posting the information 2 days before the Holyrood election, which she was Labour's candidate in the SNP-held East Kilbride. Noting the timing, the Commission said it was satisfied that Councillor McAdams posted the information, at least in part, for personal and political gain. Yeah, it is. It's shady, isn't it? It's very, very shady. It said the leak could have affected council officers dealing with the fallout and caused undue and unnecessary concerns about facilities being closed before any final decision. Yeah, I mean, you've got to make the decision before you announce them, let's be honest. You could make an announcement saying that you're looking at potential savings and these are one of the areas of it, but you don't go out and say, yeah, we're definitely closing that one before you've actually made the decision. And that's another thing that they've done. It does cause worry, stress and problems. It also noted that the breach of the councillor's code of conduct was a one-off incident and Councillor McAdams had been encouraged by her group leader to disclose the information. So in actual fact, it's not so much her as the group leader. So it really should be the group leader who's getting censured on this one. Her group leader, Joe Fagan, Balaveng, who became council leader in 2022, was suspended by the Commission for 2 months in June for leaking similar material a few days earlier. They can't help it, these people, can they? And they're all the same. Doesn't matter who you vote in. And now in this case, it's Labour. But if this was Tory, it wouldn't surprise me. If it was Lib Dem, it wouldn't surprise me. Because I've maintained this all the way through. We're doing a lot of anti-SNP, of course, because the anti-SNP are truly awful. But I'm not going to, give free passes for Labour, Tory or SNP or Lib Dems either. They're all at it. They're all the same. All politicians. They're all scum. They're all scum. Don't be holding politicians up as virtuous characters. They would sell their mother for a seat in the Lords. Honestly. The panel, which heard that Mr McAdams' case had agreed it had been legitimate for the council to have kept the material confidential until final decisions were made. It is not in dispute that on the 4th of May 21, Councillor McAdams posted information relating to the potential closure on her Facebook page, blah, 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 blah. It's just basically going through and telling everyone what it was. It's not what she's done. It's the fact that she's done it. And the fact that she's done it after Joe Fagan had already been suspended for doing the exact same thing. And so you've got these two, as I say, come up here. You've got Fagan there and Monique McAdam there. Failing to learn from him being a bit shady. And if like I say, it doesn't matter what colour that rosette is. In this case, it's a red rosette. But of course, Labour are the ones that have got the most to gain at the moment. And so things like this will damage them. And I don't particularly like Labour. I'll be honest, I don't like Labour. I don't like Tories, don't like anyone. Hate them all, think they're all shit. But whoever it is has got to kick the SNP out. And you can't be damaging the cause, whatever your cause is, because things like this will slightly strengthen perhaps the SNP vote, and you don't want to do it. Those two men, Anna Sawar and Sakir Starmer, need to pull their bloody fingers out and start disciplining their own party members for doing crap like this. And and the same for the Tories, same for the Lib Dems. Jump on them, jump on these people. Don't let them get away with it. They cannot be allowed to get away with it. Keep them clean, keep them honest, get the SNP out. And then, of course, once you get in, I'm coming for you. I'm going to come for whoever's in power, because you've got to hold their feet to the fire. But we've got to get the SNP out, because whoever goes in, at least, they're still going to be useless. But at least they're not doing everything through the veil of independence. But there we are, another one. Another bunch of clowns who are looking to be elected and are doing stuff that is as shady as hell. Honest to God. What is it? Politicians are all absolute scum, aren't they? Anyway, I'm going to round up and come up. I'd like to live in a world where there were no politicians, where stuff just happened. Where nobody was making decisions to deliberately make your life worse. Be a utopia, wouldn't it, without politicians? It's an awful, awful mess. And they're awful, awful people. The very people who most desperately want power are, by definition, those least suited to have it. Ancient Greece had a position where they would randomly select, like a jury, they would randomly select citizens to sit in their parliament. And I thought it was an excellent idea because you get people from all walks of life with all different views. There were no parties. There were just people who would sit and decide through experience and knowledge, and they came up with solutions. And I think it's a much better term. That way you're not getting sort of political animals sort of going through school, university, coming out, never had a day job, and then suddenly going, oh, I've got power now, without any recourse to any kind of experience. Maybe the ancient Greek system would be better. Anyway, well, enough of those tossers. Let's leave them there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been elucidating for you to show you exactly what's going to happen after the next election. Very little change. As I say, different clowns, different circuses, but the show is the same. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and don't vote for any of them. They're all tossers. Bye.